Today, I played my final round of Reykjavik Open, and this was probably the best game I've played in the whole tournament. It was a crazy game, and I was facing a strong player. I was playing against a 2277. His name was Nayak Rayesh from India, a FIDE master, and yeah, I was really excited for this game, to be honest. Yeah, I just wanted to play a good game. So he went e4, I went c5. I was honestly expecting him to go d4. I thought he was going to play the Jobaba London, but he didn't. So this became a Sicilian, and then here he played a3, and I went d5. So he played bishop b5, I went bishop d7. He took, castles. This is nothing crazy. Here I went bishop e7. It's the only move, because otherwise the rook and queen and everything come in. So he went bishop back. I castled. He attacked my pawn. I went bishop e6. I thought here for a little while because typically I don't want to play this move because it looks really ugly. So I was thinking here if I should go rook c8 instead. But yeah, ultimately I thought that I might have to go to e6 anyways, and I didn't like the idea that after something like bishop e3, I thought then that this pawn could become pretty weak. So yeah, I decided not to do that. Instead, I went bishop e6, he went rook e1, I now have to go queen d7 to defend. And now the important thing is that I need to see that there are tricks here. For instance, if I would have played h6 here, I would on the spot lose the game because after takes, there is rook takes, and now if I take, I lose my queen. So, you know, I need to be aware of this. That's why here I went rook d8. Why did I think for so long here? Yeah, I don't know why I thought for so long here. Okay, rook d8, queen d3, I went h6, and now I play the move queen c8. So queen c8 looks a little bit funny, to be honest, but my idea was that I thought he was going to go something like rook d1, which he did, and then I wanted to take and go queen c4. This is my idea. But yeah, I'm not sure. What should I do here instead? So here, yeah, I could have just gone something like this, and I guess this would be around equal. Because even after he does something like this, now it's better for me to go queen c8, and now I can play for this idea. So okay, good to learn something. But I went queen c8 immediately. He played rook d1. I took, went queen c4, and I was kind of expecting him to enter this endgame. My idea was that after takes, if he goes here, I have rook b8, and then this pawn is hanging. So I was expecting something like this, but he went h3. I played b5. He went back with the bishop, and now I took, went g5, which I'm not sure if I should have. Maybe I should just have gone a6, to be honest, here, to keep the position the way it is. But anyways, I went g5, and now I went bishop c5, threatening the rook, and then I went a6. I was thinking here about crazy stuff, such as d4. My idea being that if knight takes pawn, I wanted to go knight e4. And now, the only move for white is actually bishop c7, apparently. I thought he could go something like bishop d3, but then I was analyzing something like this, and I wasn't sure how this was. So yeah, me and my opponent were analyzing this after the game. So, but apparently he has bishop c7, and now after this, he can go b4. And wow, this becomes a crazy position. The idea is that if I do something like this, then this pawn is hanging. Okay, that is really pretty. Okay. So I guess this didn't work. It's good that I didn't play it. So instead I went a6, simply defending my pawn. And now after the bishop went to f3, I decided to play b4. I think b4 maybe was a little bit too soon. I think maybe it would have been better to just like push something here. But the reason I didn't do this, to be honest, is, yeah, I don't know why I didn't do this actually. Just is easier when you look at it after. Yeah, I don't really know why I didn't do this, because here, yeah, I'll just be like, it'll be around equal because now all of my pieces are pretty good. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do this instead. Yeah, I went b4. This had been my idea to do. But I think the reason I went b4 was because I missed that he had this move knight a4. I thought he was going to take, and then I thought that now my bishop gets really nice and active. But I missed that he has this move knight a4. So now he took, went c3, I went back, and he went knight b6. And this was a critical moment. Here, I missed that bishop c7 was as strong as it was. So I pretty quickly went bishop c5, like I played it in like 10 seconds. But here I need to go bishop d6. I need to trade off this bishop. This bishop is a monster. This bishop is so strong. So I need to trade off these bishops. And I guess the reason I didn't do this, can I explain what the reason is? I'm not sure I can explain. Yeah, I'm not sure I can explain why I didn't do this. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't want to trade off the bishops. I cannot remember. I think it was that I thought that he was going to go back, but I just missed that bishop c7 is so strong here. I think that was what happened. And here, okay, I decided to go rook e8 because I thought if takes and rook b8, I just thought he's going to go, I mean, he can even go bishop d4. And if I take here, c4 comes and it's all a complete disaster. I mean, just look at my rook, look at my pieces. They're horrible. My knight is hanging, my rook is hanging. Yeah, I mean, I'm losing a piece. Yeah, it doesn't work. So I just thought, okay, if I take the knight, I'm losing, I thought, practically. So I found this idea of going rook e8 with the idea that he cannot really take here because after takes, I go takes. He cannot take here because the rook is hanging, so he has to take here first. And after rook takes, I have rook check, and after the king goes up, I have bishop takes f2. And I thought that this was a very holdable position. So that's why I went for this kind of tricky move, rook e8. But he found this great move b4, and I had to go here rook e7. If I move now my bishop somewhere, then I mean it's just going to be lost for me because he can do something like bishop e5, and I'm just gonna lose this pawn, and this pawn is weak, everything. So I have to go rook e7, now threatening the bishop. If he takes, and this is completely equal for me because these pawns are so weak. So he went back with the bishop. And here I took the knight and then went rook d7. And now I found this great move, rook a1, which I had seen, but what I hadn't seen was that I couldn't go here because then there's c4. And I cannot take on c4 because my rook is hanging. So this I had missed. So now I started getting worried because now I realized that I'm losing a pawn because I saw that if I go rook a7, rook here comes, and now I cannot defend this pawn. So now I realized that I was worse, and I think it hit me here. Like I didn't know up until here that I was so much worse, but now I realized that I'm a lot worse. So when rook a7, he went here. I had 34 seconds on the clock, and I had to make a choice. And at first I was going to go bishop d8. And it was really funny, actually, because I really was going to go bishop d8, but I didn't like it at first because I had bishop d4, and I thought rook d7. I mean, I thought bishop c5. I thought anything. But then I forgot what move I was going to do, and my time was ticking, and I was like, what was the move that I was thinking about? What was the move I was thinking about? And I had 3 seconds left, and I just go rook c8, and apparently rook c8 is the best move. But I made it with like 2 seconds left on the clock, and I only made it because I had forgotten what this move was. I was like, what was my initial move? What was my initial move? Because I couldn't come up with any move. And then I just went rook c8, and it was apparently the best move, so I was really happy about that. So he took here, we traded off, and I now went rook c6, threatening the bishop, and he went rook f5, which is not such a great move because I now have this beautiful move, king h7, and I'm threatening to go king g6 and win a piece. So now I thought that I have a bit more counterplay. So I went king g6, he went here, he has to, because if he goes here, then I will be able to go f6, and actually this position is better for me with f6 because there's certain lines where he cannot take here with check, so this is superior. And he has to stay in this diagonal because otherwise this pawn is hanging. So he went bishop d4, I took, and now this was my 39th move. Here I was thinking between going rook d7 and rook b7 because I didn't want to allow b5. And I think I should have gone rook b7. I really do think I should have gone rook b7 because if something like this, he would have had to play this, and now he would be a lot more passive. And I saw this, but then I thought it was the same, you know, no matter how I went. But I went rook d7, and I missed that he can go for this move. This was the move that I missed. And yeah, here, to be honest, here was a critical moment, and this was move 41, so I don't really know why I didn't spend so much time thinking. But yeah, here, now I've been able to equalize, and I knew that this position should be a draw, but I just had to like get the draw. And here, I don't understand why I went here. Here, I should just take this pawn, because after rook check, yeah, I was scared of rook check, but I guess that I just missed that here, I can just do this. I guess I was maybe worried about something like this, and like my pawns falling. I guess this was the reason I didn't do it. But this is a draw. This is a very easy draw, actually. Yeah, this is the easiest draw of all time. I don't really know why I didn't do this. Yeah, but I wanted to stop it, so I went rook d6, he went rook c4, and this is still a draw. But he's gonna become active. So I went f6 here because I wanted to prevent this. And my idea was simply to go rook here, and I thought, you know, there's no way for him to like push forward. So he started going up with the king. I went h5. I don't know if it would have been better to go rook b5, but yeah, king f3. Now I went rook b5. He went king e4. I took, and then went rook b6. He went king d3 here, missing that I can take this pawn because he thought that he had rook c6, but now I have check, and now he cannot go king here because I will go rook b5, and if he, sorry, rook b5, and if he goes here, I go rook takes g4, and now I'm completely fine because after something like this, I can go rook d4, and I saw all of this. So he actually blundered here. He blundered the pawn, and now it was equal pawns. But it's really funny because I actually didn't realize it was equal pawns. There was literally a point in the game where I counted pawns and I was like, wait, it's the same amount of pawns. And I played like 10 moves without knowing. I completely forgot that I had won this pawn back because I was so like, oh, I'm a pawn down. So I wonder if I would have played differently if I knew that I was equal pawns. But anyways, he went king c3, I went rook b3, only move. I went check again, only move. And here here I should have gone king f7. Here I should have gone king f7. This would have been the easiest way of drawing. Yeah, because if king here, I just go here. Wow, yeah, this is the easiest way of drawing actually. Because here, if he goes takes, king c5, then this is hang. Yeah, king f7 is an easy draw because this, I'm literally realizing this at the same time as I'm watching because now I go king e7 and now I'm fine. Now it's a very easy draw. Wow, very easy draw. Wow, yeah, I just have to go king f7. I went rook here. The pawn went back, and I went rook d6 with the idea that if he goes here, I can take with check, and then I'm able to win this, and then obviously I'm not losing anymore. So here, rook b1. I mean, this was still a draw. I was going back and forth. The reason I didn't want to play a5 was because there were certain moments where I wanted to keep my rook on b5, and I wanted it to be protected. Rook c6, now rook b6 was the only move. And I was kind of going back and forth. Here, king d4, king f7, rook c7. Here, I also think maybe king e8 could... king e8 loses to f4, yeah. Wow, okay, so I went back, so this was good. And then king c4. And here, maybe I should go rook a5. For some reason, I thought that I could just keep the position the way it was. But here, rook a5, I think is much better. Because what does he do? Maybe he goes something like rook e7, and then I go back. And then if he does this, oh, then I can, yeah, then I just take. Wow. Yeah, this position is a little complicated. Now the king got in. I went rook b6, and now he went rook c6, and this was the moment I made a mistake. Here, I checked with the wrong rook. I should apparently check with this rook so that after king here, I can go a5, and then just, I guess, check from the other side. Because I guess, yeah, here I need to be able to keep on checking. But instead I checked with the wrong rook, and now I'm just lost. Yeah, takes, rook b8, king g6. Wow, and now I'm fine again. Rook d8, wow. I'm literally figuring this out on the way. I can go rook b4, and it's a draw again. Wow, rook c6, takes, wow. Yeah, I mean, I was playing here with little time, but wow. And now it's just a draw. Yeah. Sorry, now it's just losing for me. Yeah. And then I lost the game. Wow, but it was a draw all the way until the end. Anyways, I lost the game, but the reason I'm not looking so sad is because honestly, I'm really proud of the game. I think that it was in general a really well-played game, even though I made it, I mean, at the end, I kind of collapsed after 5.5 hours, but in general, I'm really happy with the game because I found a lot of really important moves. And yeah, like the first thing my opponent said after the game was, "Are you 2000 rated?" Like, there's no way. And I was like, yes. And he was like, "You play much better than 2000. And I was really happy. So I was very kind of him. He said that he thought he was easily going to win the endgame, but then like I kept coming with these surprises and tricking him and stuff. So I was happy about that. So in general, I am quite happy with the game. I think this might be my best game in this tournament. Not results-wise, but chess is more than results in my opinion. Chess is a whole game, and I think the way that I played this game was by far the highest level out of all the games. So I'm really happy about that. Really, really, really happy. And I've realized that I'm good at finding like only moves. I'm good at finding that, but I'm not always so practical. But yeah, there were easier ways for me to draw than doing all of this. And yeah, at the end I checked with the wrong rook and then it was almost lost from that. But yeah, it was a great tournament. I ended up getting 4.5 out of 9 points. I ended up like not winning or losing any rating. I think I lost like less than 1 point of rating. So I'm leaving with basically the same rating as I came here with. But what I'm leaving with is a lot of motivation. This game specifically really motivated me because it made me feel like, you know, I really can play good chess sometimes. And so that was really motivating. So yeah, let me know if you want to see me play more tournaments this year. Thank you so much for supporting and watching all of these recaps. Thank you so much for watching all of the games live. And yeah, let's type the most, what should we type? Type the most positive thing you can come up with. I feel like we need a little bit of positivity right now. Yeah, I think we need a little bit of positivity. So type something positive. Maybe something positive that happened in your day today. And we can all share something positive. For me, the positive thing was that I played a good game. I'm happy with the game. I am now going to go to the prize ceremony, not to win any prize, but to congratulate everyone who did and also eat some of the food there. They have some great macaroons. I'm really excited about that. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching once again all of these recaps, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.